Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into something that, well, it's everywhere, but maybe we don't always see it clearly. We're talking about ego.
Right. It sounds simple, maybe, but the way it influences us, our decisions, even, global stuff, it's huge.
Exactly. And our mission today is really to unpack what our source material says about it.
Yeah.
How does it show up day to day? Are there actually upsides? And yeah, what are the downsides we often miss? We think understanding this is, well, pretty critical, whether you're thinking about your own life or just trying to make sense of the world.
And the sources we're looking at today, they offer this really interesting perspective. It frames ego as this fundamental drive, often unconscious.
It's unconscious, yeah.
It shapes things from tiny personal choices right up to like how nations act. You might have a few aha moments today about something you haven't really consciously clocked before.
Okay, let's jump right in then. How does the source first describe ego in, normal everyday life?
Yeah.
It talks about people feeling extremely proud, thinking too highly of themselves. What does that actually look like?
Well, it often looks like this intense desire to show off, to broadcast success, importance.
Okay.
Our source explains it as this need for external validation. Think about someone getting a promotion, right?
Yeah.
Or starting a business.
Yeah.
It's not just having the success, it's showing everyone how amazing they are, how they achieve through hard work, maybe that they're earning on their own. There's this strong, I did this, I achieved that narrative.
Right, I made this happen, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's all about declaring that individual accomplishment.
And the source says this isn't just for, massive achievements. It happens with smaller things, too.
Absolutely. That's a key point. It's not reserved for the corner office or the huge startup. The source mentions even small jobs, small businesses. People feel that same urge to show it off, prove their worth. Even like playing games, wanting to prove you're better, that you can win. It suggests ego is just always there, from the smallest things to the biggest, pushing us.
It's like this constant low-level comparison or competition happening under the surface.
That's a good way to put it. And what's really fascinating and maybe a bit unsettling is how this individual thing, it doesn't stay individual.
Okay. It scales up.
Big time. The source is clear. The same ego is present in big matters, too. It jumps from the personal to the collective.
Right. And you see that so clearly with other examples about nations, countries wanting to show they are the best.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time, don't you? Our country's achieved so much. We've contributed this. We're so successful, powerful, developed.
Or boasting about the military, the economy. Our military is strong. Our economy is huge.
It's the exact same impulse,
No.
just amplified massively.
Precisely. So it really drives home that ego isn't just, a personality quirk. It fuels entire collective identities. Nations, big or small, they all seem to engage in this showing off of ego.
Trying to establish some kind of superiority.
Whether it's economic, military, cultural.
And then the source brings it back down again, linking ego to, stuff.
Yeah.
Material things. Even relationships.
It says, even the clothes we wear, the cars we drive, the houses we live in, people want to show off how expensive or beautiful their things are.
So it's not just having the nice car, it's what the car says about you.
Exactly that. The motivation underneath is about building an image. The source says they want to show they married a beautiful wife or live in a grand bungalow.
Right.
All this is done to show off their ego so that they feel great about themselves in the world. It's about managing perceptions, how others see you, but also, maybe, how you see yourself.
And here's the part that really struck me. The source claims most people don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's powerful.
They spend their whole lives showing off their ego and don't even notice it. It's like we're caught in this race, but maybe not for what we think we're racing for. Not true success, but just feeding the ego.
It becomes this silent driver shaking so much without us even being aware. And that leads us towards the darker side of it.
God and flip apart.
Yeah. The source makes this pretty stark observation. Whatever people are doing, if you look closely, you'll see they're doing it for their ego, to feel important, make their family or country feel important.
And that's what causes fights.
That's what causes many fights, big or small. It seems to stem from this feeling of being threatened or needing to assert importance over others.
And you see it playing out everywhere, like the example of someone getting a better job and maybe arguing, my job's bigger than yours. You're not as good as me.
Oof, yeah, that individual level friction.
But then it scales right back up again. The same happens between countries, too. A developed country looking down on a less developed one.
Creating resentment, instability.
Yeah.
Yeah, the source just lays it out. It's all a game of ego.
Wow. Okay. But then the source throws a curveball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It challenges that purely negative view.
It does. This is where it gets really interesting. It actually says, in some ways, ego can be good, too.
Good. How?
Well, it positions ego as this catalyst for ambition, drive. Because of ego, it says, people work harder to prove themselves.
Okay, I can see that.
It even suggests without ego, no one would chase success. No one would be motivated. The world would stop progressing.
Whoa. So it's like the engine.
Kind of, yeah, the engine of aspiration. It fuels growth, whether that's an individual pushing their limits or a country striving for, innovation or development.
So ego drives progress,
Mm-hmm.
but we just talked about how it drives conflict. How does the source square that? Where does it go wrong?
That's the absolute crux of it, isn't it? The
Yeah.
balancing act. The core problem identified is when ego shifts, when it turns into arrogance.
Ah, okay, that's the line. Because of ego, people become arrogant, and then, the source says, the harmful stuff follows. They start fighting, hating others, even family or friends, just to prove they're better.
And people get stuck there. Yeah. People stay stuck in this game of ego, whether they are individuals or nations, and they often never realize how harmful it is, the damage it causes.
The source is pretty blunt about the consequences.
Extremely. Ego creates hatred, it creates wars, conflicts, and it disrupts peace for individuals and for nations.
So the source makes this really sharp distinction. Growth is good, success is good, but arrogance is not. It's about your internal state, not just what you achieve externally.
Exactly. It's not the drive itself that's inherently bad, it's what it becomes if it's not managed, maybe.
Right. Does the source offer any guidance on that, how to use it constructively?
It does. It basically advises we should try to use our ego for good for development and progress, not to hurt others or become arrogant.
Easier said than done, maybe.
Probably. But the suggestion is a mindset shift.
Mhm.
If you are successful, take it lightly. Don't get wrapped up in thoughts like, I did this, so I am great.
Keep perspective.
Yeah. The source says, look, you are not great just because you got a big job or build business. Everyone is doing something in this world. The advice is to try and remove the ego from their thoughts. Don't take so much pride in the cars, the money, the status symbols.
Focus on the growth itself.
Yes. Focus only on growth and positive development without letting ego turn into pride or hate. That's the goal it lays out.
So wrapping this up then,
Yeah.
what does this all mean for you listening right now? We've kind of traced this core tension, haven't we? Ego is this powerful engine for growth, for getting things done.
Mm-hmm. For individuals, for society.
But also this kind of silent saboteur that can fuel arrogance, conflict, and just generally undermine peace in relationships if it runs wild.
And the source really is an invitation, isn't it? To look critically at our own motive and maybe understand the motives of others and even nations a bit differently.
Yeah.
It's a call to aim for that healthy growth, that real progress, without falling into the trap of arrogance or that need to constantly compare and compete in a destructive way.
So here's something to maybe mull over. If you start recognizing this subtle dance of ego in yourself, in your community, maybe even in global news, how might that change how you think about success
Yeah.
or conflict
Yeah.
or what real progress actually looks like?
Yeah. What might you choose to lean into? And maybe what might you consciously try to let go of now that you're maybe seeing this dynamic a bit more clearly?